Hi. Welcome. It is my pleasure to introduce one of our reflections and insights of their personal and professional journeys. To introduce our first professor, Randy Plausch, I would like to introduce his friend and colleague, Steve Steepold. As you all know, The Sims is one of the most, if not the most successful PC game in the world. Bridging academia and it was in that role that Randy and Steve became colleagues and friends. And as CEO there, one of the things he started was school tours because, like Randy, he shares the passion to inspire kids of all ages. So, to introduce Randy, his friend Steve Steepold. Thank you very much. I don't mean to sound ingracious by correcting you, but by giving that PR people are probably watching this by webcast. It was 100 million units for The Sims. Not that big numbers matter to Electronic Arts. I don't see any empty seats anywhere, which is a good thing, which means I just won a bet with Randy, as a matter of fact. Depending on whose side of the story you hear, he either owes me 20 bucks or his new Volkswagen, so I'll take the car. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much. I want to start by covering Randy's academic credentials. No matter how much I contributed to this institution. No, really, I'm not kidding. Really, I'm not humble at all. Very average ACT scores, right in the middle of my high school graduating class of 900. We decided about 4 weeks ago when the news went from bad to horrific. We could play very straight and emotional, or we could go to dark humor. And for those of you who know Randy, to which he responded, "We have to find you some smarter friends." So you're all smart because you're here, so if you want to be my friend, I'll be over in the corner at the reception room. His PhD in CS from Carnegie Mellon in 1988. He has authored and co-authored 5 books. With Don Marinelli, he founded the It is my view and the view of our company, Electronic Arts, to which all others in the world are judged. I met Randy in the spring of 2004, and looking back on it, it's hard to believe that it's only been 3 years looking at the depth of our friendship. And Randy, as he always does, for those of you who know him well, wanted to learn more. So he spent a summer in residence as EA, and I was his primary contact point. Randy, the brilliant, charming Carnegie professor. For those of you who know Randy well, that's a lot of turkey sandwiches on white bread with mayo. My kids tease me about being white, but there's nobody more white than Randy. We spent an enormous amount of time together. We developed a deep friendship woven together by stories of our children, wives, parents, and as well as discussions about the paramount importance of integrity in everything you do. Family first, religion, our shared joy in connecting people and ideas, and deploying money and influence to do good, and the importance of having a lot of laughs along the way. Whether it's directly influencing students, creating organizations like the ETC, building tools like Alice, or doing what he probably does best, which is bridging cultures. Even more important than Randy's academic, philanthropic, the enthusiasm he brings to students and coworkers on a daily basis. For those of you who know Randy know that he brings a certain zest of life. To Randy, this is simply another adventure. It is my honor to introduce Dylan, Logan, and Chloe's dad, my friend, Dr. Randy Pausch. It's wonderful to be here. But what Adir didn't tell you is that this series used to be called The Last Lecture. If you had one last lecture to give before you died, what would it be? In case there's anyone who wandered in and doesn't know the backstory, my dad always taught me if there's an elephant in the room, you introduce them. I have some of the best doctors in the world. So that is what it is. We can't change it, and we just have to decide how we're going to respond to it. We cannot change the cards we're dealt, just how we play the hand. If I don't seem as depressed or morose as I should be, well, sorry to disappoint you. And I assure you that I am not in denial. It's not that I'm not aware of what's going on. And the other thing is that I'm in phenomenally good health right now. I am in really good shape. In fact, I'm in better shape than most of you. So anyone that wants to cry or pity me, you can come down and do a few of those, and then you can pity me. We're not going to talk about cancer because I've spent a lot of time talking about that, so I'm really not interested. And we're not going to talk about things that are even more important than achieving your dreams. We're not going to talk about my wife and my kids. And we're not going to talk about spirituality or religion. Though I'm going to tell you I have experienced a deathbed conversion. Now, I knew I'd get 9% of the audience with that. So today's talk about is my childhood dreams, how I believe I've been able to enable the dreams of others, and to some degree, lessons learned. I'm a professor, and how you can use the stuff you hear today to achieve your dreams or enable the dreams of others. So what were my childhood dreams? Well, I had a unique childhood, no kidding around. I was going back through the family archives, and what's really amazing was I couldn't find any pictures of me as a child where I wasn't smiling. And there I actually have a picture of me dreaming. And I did a lot of that, like wake up. And it was an easy time to dream. I was born in 1960, right? When you're 8 or 9 years old and you look at the TV set and you see us landing on the moon, anything is possible. The inspiration and the permission to dream is huge. So what are my childhood dreams? You may not agree with this list, but I was there. Being Captain Kirk. Anyone here have that childhood dream? Okay, so being in zero gravity. I did not dream of being an astronaut because as a little kid I wore glasses and astronauts can't wear glasses. Prototype 0.0. But that didn't work so well. So it turns out NASA has something called the Vomit Comet, which we use to train the astronauts. And there is a program where college students can submit proposals, and if they win the competition, they get to fly. And so I read the literature very carefully, and it turns out NASA is part of an outreach program. Students were allowed to bring a local media journalist from their hometown. And Randy Pausch, web journalist. So I called the guys at NASA and I asked them, my resignation as a faculty advisor and my application for the resident journalist.